Jamaica shores to Guyana's golden sands. Our hearts beat strong in distant lands. Trinidad's rhythm, Grenada spice. Our culture shines, bold and bright. West Indian people, wherever we roam.
Welcome to Pan-Caribbean Pulse. I'm your host, Roma Spencer, and this is the show that brings you the heartbeat of the Pan-Caribbean world. From the pulsating rhythms of calypso and reggae to the artistic expressions of our painters, dancers, and musicians, this is where we celebrate the culture that connects us all.
St. Vincent skies, Antigua's breeze, we carry our roots.
In today's episode, we're cutting style and fashion with Reverie Faces Lookbook, the Pan-Caribbean and Caribbean fashion magazine for designers, an online digital fashion magazine providing a platform for the influence of African and Caribbean culture in fashion. We will hear how emerging local designers working in Canadian spaces can bring their art to the forefront and mainstream fashion. We'll explore how the Reverie Faces Lookbook celebrates diversity, creativity, and community pride through the eyes of its co-founder and curator. But first, let's check out what's trending in the news. Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre was defeated in his Carlton riding, ending his nearly 2 decades tenure as a Member of Parliament in the Ottawa area. Liberal Party candidate Bruce Fanjoy defeated Poilievre by winning the riding with 50.8% of the vote. That is 43,900 votes compared to 38,675 votes for Poilievre. The result is certain to ignite questions over Poilievre's future as party leader in spite of the Conservatives' increase in seat count and vote share, but finished second to the Liberal Party. Now imagine running for Prime Minister and your constituency have the opportunity to have the Prime Minister of Canada to be their MP, and they turn around and reject you after being MP for 20 years. Oh good, goat bite you or crap will pee on you. A man who was 20% behind in popularity going into the elections beat you like a Good Friday bubbly. But if I was you, I would just do like Jagmeet, drink water, and announce my resignation. Oh, I get it. You need to stay on as leader, otherwise you will be unemployed. Works nowhere and draws no pay. When world leaders gathered at St. Peter's Basilica to bid farewell to Pope Francis, Donald Trump's choice of outfits stood out. While other world leaders were dressed in black, the US president broke from the Vatican's strict dress code for papal funerals with his blue suit and a light blue tie. Indeed, funeral protocols for the Vatican call for men to wear a dark suit with a black tie and a black lapel button. Now, I know blue, God loves you, and I also know blue is to cut maljo or bad eye. I wonder what was Trump's reason to wear that blue suit among the sea of black? I mean, if he did looking to call attention to himself, it didn't work. Cause when Cool Cat Selinski rolled in the Basilica, the whole of St. Peter's Square gave him a round of applause, and it didn't even have an MC to introduce him. Orangulus and his wife, looking like a penguin, walks in and not even a whisper. Lobsters are migrating north to Canada as the Gulf of Maine becomes one of the fastest warming ocean territories in the world. Warmer waters make lobsters more vulnerable to disease, reduce food availability, and lower survival rates for juveniles. It is said that the Gulf of Maine is heating up 3 times faster than other ocean waters, pushing lobsters into Canada's cooler waters and reshaping the industry. Even the lobsters flee in America. You know how much Americans wish there was a lobster? Members of the LGBTQ community, for example, they have been inquiring how they can flee to Canada as refugees and wishing now they could be a lobster because they don't qualify as refugees. No more he, she, they, them pronouns. The boss man say it have only two gender, male and female. And just like that, the transgender community cancel. But I'm here to tell you, Donald, the pink revolution will be televised. Today, I am honored to sit down with fashion-forward fashionista, software developer, digital creator, producer, and the co-founder of Reverie Faces Lookbook, Michaela Palmer. Now, according to her website, Michaela's journey as a digital creator is driven by a deep love of cultural advocacy, unquote. Michaela,
Hello.
welcome to Pan Caribbean Pulse.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's been wonderful, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Awesome. Now, you no doubt have a passion for style and fashion, right?
Yes.
Mhm. I want you to talk us through a little of Michaela's fascination with this industry.
So I've come a long way in terms of wanting to show the culture. I've found a love for curating local experiences and pieces. Throughout the years, I've met some wonderful designers who wanted me as their brand ambassadors. So I would get fitted, go to these events, and then I was like, okay, we need to see more of this. I just love color in general. When someone comes to me with an idea, I'm all for it. So it goes from just avant-garde, couture, street style. I'm up for anything. And it goes from head to toe. I'll try a new hairstyle. Actually, I was known for that on social media, for cutting my hair, for putting color in my hair. I like just adorning myself. It's a sense of expression.
And this is something that started off as a kid in Jamaica.
Yes.
You told me something about your mom taking you to these fashion shows. Tell me about that.
Yes, so when I was younger, in my teenage years, my mom would have corporate events. And corporate events would mean that they're wine and dined at these dinners, at these big events. And I would also be fitted for branded, like, I'm not going to call any names, but branded events where I would speak to people as their brand ambassador, and I would be wearing an outfit that was aligned with their brand. So from then, and then also modeling. My mom put me into modeling where they would teach me how to walk, and then from then I was like, okay, I really like that.
And this is what age?
This is around 15, 16. Yes, but from 5 years old, I've been doing cultural performances where you would have to get fitted. Designers would actually put some thought into their craft, and it would be related to that actual dance.
So you did your little kumina and dinky mini and all that kind of dance, folk dances as a kid?
Exactly, as a kid. And it went to like JCDC, which is a cultural festival in Jamaica. And I would be involved in drama, and on sets, depending on what character you're playing, your outfit speaks to that.
You grew up, with this sense of fashion and style from a kid growing up during your performance, or what I'll call your performative years.
Yes.
As a teenager. Now, your co-founder, Anthony Barrow, disclosed to me that the idea of Reverie Faces, it did not take flight for him until he met you and learned about your goals for the industry. Now, according to him, after some trials and errors, he got stuck, but failure was not an option. I want you to talk me through that symmetry between a videographer, photographer, and a digital content creator and software developer.
Yes.
How does that work?
So it's beauty, just merging fashion and tech, because all industries, I'll say, needs tech no matter what, and we're moving into a digital landscape where everything needs to be online. Your presence online is very important so that you can reach your exposure goes further than what you could have done locally. So with that blend of skills, a photographer, videographer, we need the content. He has the equipment.
Okay.
I have the online platform where I'm always live streaming, hosting, interacting with people. And I'll go back. The similarity was always elevating the culture. We bonded so well on dance, first of all, Caribbean music, and then the fact that we love our culture. So we're in our growth phase, and we just love that the connections we've built from Anthony's side, from my side, can be merged together, and then we can also just keep elevating our culture, which is the main mission.
And that culture is Caribbean and African.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's interesting. I mean, and you're originally from Jamaica, right?
Yes.
I mean, how do you merge, because it's two different cultures we're talking about. Caribbean culture is much different than that of African culture.
Yes.
I mean, how you go about, merging the two as a fashion forward developer?
Yes. So when we think about culture, we have to meet people that grew up with that culture. So we don't just lean on our understanding of it. We put projects out there that invites people from that culture. So, for example, our lookbook, I've met and worked with multiple African designers. One from Nigeria in our 4th issue, and one from Ghana in our 2nd issue. So when it comes on to subject matter experts, you don't lean on your own understanding. You invite people who are willing to share their culture with you, and that's how we elevate and we express and have the platform to show what people in our city is doing. So it's Pan-Caribbean, African, and at the end of the day, a lot of people actually don't know that we're heavily influenced by the African culture, being Caribbean. And I always say, out of many, one people. That's the motto of Jamaica, and it's actually very true. We want to highlight African culture, and European culture, even though it was tied to some really hard times. And let's just be frank, slavery is a real thing, and our history is based on that. But we came through as a people, and I'm proud and honored to keep showcasing our culture as we've come out as a people.
And so many of the Caribbean culture is African.
Yes.
Take it or leave it. When we think of, after the first peoples that were founded, the Caribs and the Tainos, the Arawaks, and so on, the other people that came really en masse is not necessarily the Europeans, right? It's really the African bodies, these enslaved bodies that took up space. And as a result, the Caribbean space is indeed very much an African space. So what you're doing is really important. Merging as a Caribbean girl from Jamaica, merging Caribbean and African fashion together to elevate that out there to the social media platforms, which is really, really good work. And I want to commend Reverie Faces Lookbook for doing just that. Now, what are some of the biggest challenges Caribbean and African designers face in gaining international recognition?
I think our biggest challenge, and I feel it's not just designers, it's building an online presence. If you're expecting to have an international gain, you have to be online. It's just frankly that. You just have to be online. Of course, people putting your work out there invites people to approach you. You don't have to be doing the cold calling anymore once you have a portfolio online. So I think the first step and a continuous step for designers is to make sure that they have something online and they're actively being and taking up space in the digital world. Another thing I would say is funding. Quite frankly, we just need funding. I feel like capital is our biggest issue.
So help me here. What do you need the funding for?
So, in the essence of designers, we need the funding for production. It would be production for actual collection, maybe an event space, maybe a pop-up that they could actually have a store. It also marketing dollars. I say online presence, but a lot of things goes into graphic design, goes into having someone host an event for you, having food, because at the end of the day, it's people management that goes into any project. So yes, we need the funding for things like that.
And how does Reverie Faces Lookbook help designers get more visibility in major fashion markets? How you go about doing that?
So with Reverie Faces, our aim is to have different themes by putting out bi-monthly releases. So because we're so active online, the marketing through these issues that we put out are going to expose our designers. So each issue, we make sure we build a profile on each designer. It will be linked back to the designer's actual pages so that you could do more research being a consumer of the lookbook. When it comes on to what I said earlier, it's an online portfolio. Say you came into one of our issues for the lookbook, it's definitely there on our webpage forever. You are now our affiliate. So I don't know what's better than that to be our affiliate, because I'm so passionate. Anthony is so passionate about what we put out. Our content speaks for itself. And we hope you come on board.
So Bekala, tell me then, I'm a designer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working within Caribbean aesthetics. How does Reverie Faces Lookbook help me to really access the major fashion markets out there?
Yes. So being a part of our lookbook, we also give the option to our designers to keep their products or some of their products and services in our marketplace. They can apply to be a vendor on our online marketplace. That means, say you have a collection that you know you want to sell online, but you don't want to develop a website just for that collection. You come to us.
Right.
You come to us, you upload those images, and we, through our marketing, will let people know that that's available on Reverie Faces. So that's another outlet. Of course.
And they're able to purchase it online as well. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So being a vendor on our space, you would ensure that it's distributed to the buyers, but at least it's there on reveriefaces.com for people to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I'll put you in a little spot here, girl. In today's culture of all this sort of digital marketing, do we still need live fashion shows and catwalks for fashion buyers? Do we really need it?
I feel like everyone likes to dress up at some point. And yes, in-person interactions are definitely needed. So when we do get out, it's very important to engage, have fun, dress up, feel good.
Let's say African Fashion Week. Is there a Caribbean Fashion Week?
In Canada, no.
Is it inside of the African Fashion Week?
Well, I would say yes, because I do feel like Caribbean designers are a part of African Fashion Week, which is good because, as we were talking about earlier, African culture is definitely a part of Caribbean culture.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Now, as a designer, how can Reverie Faces help my brand? I mean, is there any pointers you can give me?
Yes, Reverie Faces is basically a list now of designers who worked with us. So if you've seen something in our lookbook that you're like, I like that sense of style. I like how that person artwork, because at the end of the day, fashion is art. I like how they use their silhouettes. I feel like that would blend well with how I express my sense of fashion. And then you go to that person and you say, okay, I'd like to work with you. What do you already have ready to wear? And that's another thing. On the online marketplace, there will be ready to wear aspects. But then most of these designers do custom. So you can reach out.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I'm wearing my own clothes today, right?
Yes.
So I can reach out to some of them to outfit me for the next Pan Caribbean Pulse episode.
Exactly. We need them to be in here now getting your measurements.
Now, is Reverie Faces only available online? I mean, is there any plan for a printed version as well?
Reverie Faces is definitely online, but we do print a selective amount. So this is our issue 4. Yes. And we have our lovely model Tori on our front cover and Corey on our back cover. That's
Show it to the camera, let them see it. Good.
So when we go to events, we would actually print a limited amount so that people are aware that we have different issues online. But when you go to our website, it's currently available. You can go to our third party and print and get it shipped directly to you.
How does a Reverie Faces presence online promoting Caribbean and African fashion designers, where do you make your money?
So we make our money by the sales of the actual lookbook. So if you go and support us online to print something, we get a commission off of the print. If you download or digital copy, there's a cost to that, and that's how we make some revenue.
Okay, so if I'm interested, so I listen to Pan Caribbean Pulse today, okay, and I want to go online now to check out some of these fashion designs. So I go to reveriefaces.com.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay. What's the next step after that? Could I just click on a particular fashion designer's work and see it without any cost to me?
So in terms of a fashion designer, so you're looking for a contact list, basically?
Yeah.
Yes. So we do have in our About Us page, affiliates. So it will have their social media platform handle and their email address.
Right.
So at any point you could go directly to them.
Right.
In essence, once we onboard a few vendors, you can actually shop with Reverie Faces.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that you do have that service.
Yes.
On the great. What's next for Reverie Faces Lookbook?
So we're always pushing for new releases, and currently issue 5 is in the works. So yes, so stay tuned on our social media platforms at Reverie Faces on Instagram, TikTok, and our website reveriefaces.com. And we are thrilled to walk designers into the digital world.
Excuse me, please. Or should I say, please me, cues.
Yes.
You want to just give us a little hint of what we could probably expect as you walk these designers into the digital world?
Yes. So think AI.
Okay,
And should I say more?
No.
No, okay.
Leave it right there.
Okay.
Clip your mouth.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Michaela. We've been talking with Michaela Palmer, co-founder of Reverie Faces Lookbook, a digital fashion magazine online for Caribbean and African fashion designers. What an inspiring conversation, eh? I mean, it remains an awe to see how African and Caribbean fashion infiltrates the Canadian space without fear or favor. Through the efforts of platforms made possible by Reverie Faces, the haute couture of our designers can show up and show out, cut style. And that's exactly what Pan Caribbean Pulse is all about. Celebrating our achievements, documenting the past, celebrating the present, and looking ahead to the future of our culture, Sankofa. Thank you for watching Pan Caribbean Pulse. And remember, support local artists, designers, and creators. Every purchase keeps our culture alive and thriving. In these trying times, spend your money wisely. Read the label and buy local. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a beat of our stories from the heart of the Pan-Caribbean world. So until next time, keep the pulse throbbing and let the rhythm flow. Bye-bye.
Antigua's breeze, we carry our roots with effortless ease. Though scattered far, our